Hello everyone, my name is Forset Rising. Today I'm being joined with Dreto from PPL. Dreto, how are you doing today? I'm doing just fine. Start out, tell me, how are you feeling after day one of the Open Qualifiers?
And then our second series, we went 2-0 pretty solidly, and uh, not a lot of odd stuff happening in those games. So pretty clean. Team's preparing well. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty confident about these upcoming matches.
That's good, that's great. Looking ahead to the bracket, how are you and PPL planning to take on Tempest, who most assumed to be the favorites to promote for this entire tournament?
Well, Tempest Gaming, gotta give them credit where credit's due. Very good team. They managed to take off a game versus the airport team in a scrim.
Yeah.
With double lift in them. So they are a very good team, but we've been prepping pretty thoroughly for draft specifically and also the games. Everyone's going to be getting a lot of games in practice and making sure that we're playing our best. And even though they are the favorites, it's on any given day, any team can win, especially in
Ah,
Tier 3 Amateur League. So we got to remember this is Tier 3. I
any given
consider it
day.
Tier 2.5, but so it's just who plays better.
Right. Who do you think their liabilities are?
Liabilities specifically, I don't know if I want to get into that because might start some drama, but
Got
we'll
it.
just say it's aimed towards the bottom side of the map. Say
Mm,
that.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. If you do unfortunately lose to Tempest, how do you think you're going to fare in the losers bracket?
So I did plan for this contingency just in case. I wanted to do a bit of a run through
Yeah,
prediction
the
of the
bracket,
losers bracket.
NLE and
So
who was it? The other team, and then it was the winner of Bikini Bottom and another team.
mm,
Yeah.
so for the losers bracket, the only issue with it is that we have to play a lot more games. So if we win on Saturday, then we have one more best of three and one more best of five to play in.
Yeah.
And the losers bracket, we'll have to play, I think, four best of threes and one best of five. So just a lot more games and repetitions. But I think the teams will be solid competitors. But I think in ultimatum, Pepe Lala will succeed.
Ah,
So
okay, okay. How do you feel about that, by the way? The lowest bracket just being so many games. Do you think that helps teams, or do you think it hurts them?
I think it depends on the team. If you have resilience, you're able to get through the games without being fatigued, then you'll be fine. So fatigue will definitely be a big factor. So the teams that aren't used to scrimming as much or playing as much, they'll have more issues. But our team, we scrim 3, 4 times a week. We're all playing solo queue all the time. Like we're addicted to League.
Yeah,
So I think we'll be fine.
real grinders. Um, to move on to the elephant in the room, because I know a lot of people are going to be asking about this. How do your players deal with the pressure and the public hate that comes with playing on PPL?
Really, we just try and tune it out. The dead noise and the to be honest, we've been seeing a uptick in supporters for PPL, so that's great to see. People
Really?
focusing on the game, the League of Legends. That's the important aspect, I believe.
You guys are playing some really solid League of Legends right now. So,
Thank you, thank you.
of course. A bit more on the U side, how does it feel to, in my opinion, be one of the better junglers in the OQ? Are there any expectations that you place upon yourself?
The main expectation is to play my best and to play how I know I can, and to make sure that I'm prepared for the games. Because we have been playing against a lot of really good junglers. Rose Thorn we scrimmed against a little bit. Will everyone knows,
Yeah.
and Kizno will be another great competitor, but uh, the pressure it doesn't really apply because I've been fortunate enough to play in multiple OQs. So in the
True.
past, I might have been a lot more scared or fearful and a lot of anxiety, but now I just chalk it up to excitement, basically. So
Speaking of playing a lot of OQs, you started off your career with winning the 2023 Salty Runback Rookie of the Split. How have your personal goals been since then? I mean, you placed second in ACL in summer, second in the Peach Belt playoffs. Do you think you, as a player, should be aspiring to be on that NACL level at this point?
Well, also gotta give credit to Honori Boop. We both won it.
Yeah,
It was a split decision, so
of course.
gotta give credit where credit's due. After we played in that summer, I think it was my junior year in college. I basically took a hiatus. I quit league for over a year, and then I started to get back into it. And personal goals for NACL, if it happens, it would be amazing. It would be a ton of fun, and it would be an indicator to me that okay, I'm able to play at this level. And my past experiences playing against these really good junglers, and I've been able to be on par with them, if not out jungle them. It's been a very good indicator of the fact that I might be NACL quality, but time will tell, and that's what happens. I have other plans in place if things don't work out, so I got to prepare for everything. But
Accounting major,
ain't
right?
you focus on your plan A, yeah, the accounting major, but the plan Bs, plan Cs, those come after
Hmm.
you're sure that plan A will not be fruitful.
There's a saying: make a plan, execute the plan for the plan to go wrong, throw out the plan.
Exactly. That's true. You
So
always want to plan for everything, all the contingencies, all the dependables, everything that could happen. You want to be
exactly,
prepared. You don't want to be blindsided by something.
exactly. A bit more on the personal side. Tell me more about yourself. What got you into League of Legends as a whole?
So I've been playing League of Legends since season 4, and a little background story is I used to watch this Wizard 101 player called Nugs 1952 or something. You could probably still find his YouTube channel out there. I delete all his videos, but
Hmm.
I watched him for Wizard 101, and then he started playing League of Legends, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna play that game. But then I found out it was free, and I wasn't really trying to spend money on games. I think because I was like 10 years old at the time, so I was like, okay, let me get into it. And when I first started, bronze, silver, and then I managed to climb up to masters with Bard support, and then I quit basically after that, and then I started playing Lilia again, and I climbed up to masters, and then I kept playing once I went to my college, and I found out they offered esports scholarships. So I was like, oh, this is something I might be interested in. Let me see how good I can get, and that's when it started to take off. That was when I started to realize, like, okay, I'm actually pretty good at this game.
And that's how you got into the competitive scene.
Yes, I started playing with my FSC team, or my Florida Southern College team. And after a year of that, that was my first experience competitively. I didn't look for amateur at all. And then we had this one player named Nebula, who a lot of people in the scene might be familiar with.
Yep.
He he was really good, and he was talking about OQs, and that's when I first found out about OQs. And at first, I wasn't interested in it. Then I was like, oh, you know what? I might as well try and give it a shot. And that's how I ended up on ROTM, Return to the Middle Stick.
Yep.
So that's the journey.
And
So
then you've
little
been with the Pepe guys for like what, a year now, 2 years?
Yeah, it's basically the same roster from ROTM, barring our mid laner,
Yeah.
who he just doesn't play the game as much anymore. But Tooth Booth has been a great addition. He's been very surprised me a lot with his mechanics and his game knowledge. So it's been a good group of guys that we've been playing with, and like we just have a certain synergy. We all seem to get along. So it's really been a blessing. That's all I can really chalk it up to
Do
say
you do
about it.
you think playing with the same people over and over again helps you in the OQs? Like some sort of like
I
synergy?
Yeah, I think so, definitely, because we're able in like VOD reviews or something, like we could flame each other, nobody cares. Like there's no there's egos on the team, but there's not competing egos, if that makes sense. There's not
Yeah.
people there we all might think of ourselves as star players, but we're not trying to steal each other's spotlight. We all understand this is a team at the end of the day, and if we're gonna be successful, we're gonna have to come together, collaborate, corroborate, and work and try our hardest. So, oh, sorry, my cat made some noise in the
You're
background.
completely fine. What gives you guys the edge, do you think?
Honestly, it's I I think it's really the synergy because something about it because we are just as really good as a team together. We just play well together and we just get along, and I think that is really what it is. It's because individually we have a lot of really good players, but when we all bring it together, we've seen our players go to other teams for a second
Right.
or for a split, and they weren't as successful, and they come back to us, and we're top 16 OQs qualifying after like every time. So it's really just the synergy, I have to say.
I've been hearing. So I heard that in one of my previous interviews. The Apex team, they've been together for a little bit now, and they've been scrimming and doing stuff for a little bit now together. And they also mentioned that the synergy was one of their biggest strengths. I think across the board we can see that with these top teams, people who are making it further within the top bracket, that if you're not really together for a long time, it's not going to work out.
I think a big reason for that is probably that after you play with someone for so long, you know what they're thinking, you know what they want to do on the map, if they want to play for this objective or split push or whatever. So it's really learning the other individual's play style. So if you have take 5 random really good players and put them together, they're not going to play that well together as well as they would if they were playing with people they knew, because they just don't know what the other person is thinking.
Right.
Or hmm?
No, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Uh, is there anything within the tier 3 scene or Riot or the game itself that you would want to be different?
In the are you talking about specifically for the competitive scene or
It could be
the
whatever.
game in general?
Competitive scene, game, just things that you would want to be different in general.
Uh, well, can I talk about solo queue? Because
Sure.
the solo queue is honestly horrendous. It's atrocious. Like people don't get in trouble for griefing or inting or
Yeah.
AFKing. They get in trouble for saying words in the chat. And let's be honest, it's a video game. People are going to get heated. You know, we might not all be the most well socially adjusted. And especially League of Legends, especially anyone that plays League of Legends knows that if you're playing solo queue, if you're not a monk or someone that has incredible patience, you're going to get angry. And sometimes that comes
Right.
out in verbally. So
Yeah.
I think that's a big issue I see with solo queue, at least. For the competitive scene, I haven't been in it as much as long as other people, but I I feel like the scene is pretty good. I think Riot needs to do a better job of scouting the NA talent and offering more opportunities. But then again, it's kind of hard to say that when we're so unsuccessful on a global stage, internationally, in my opinion. So it's because it seems that other teams, say from the LPL or LCK, are miles ahead of Europe or North America, and
Yeah.
there has to be some reason for that. And I think a lot of it is the opportunities and the amount that, say, North America in general cares about esports, where in LCK, Faker is or in Korea, Faker is basically a celebrity there. He's like a Michael
Right.
Jordan over there. Everyone knows who he is. So
Yeah.
it might be more of a cultural focus if on sports.
I was
'Cause
gonna say
we-
it's very much a cultural thing, if in my personal opinion.
mm,
NA puts a lot more emphasis on traditional sports. So does Europe, than it does esports. It's still very stigmatized.
mm,
Um, I do feel though the talent pipeline could definitely use a lot more work. We get what 2, 3 tier 3 official Riot tournaments a year, and that's the open qualifiers, and we get nothing else. So
yeah, it's just not enough. I don't think like,
mm,
and if people are going to be good, they're going to be playing the game
correct.
consistently and constantly. So you're going to need tournaments to showcase their abilities multiple times throughout the year.
I definitely agree. Is there anything you want to say to the haters of PPL?
Well, it's either you got to hop on the wave now or you can hop on after we've showcased that we are one of, if not the best team in NACL OQ. So it's really, it's get on now or get left behind, because we're coming and the NACL should be prepared.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up this interview. Dreto, thank you so much for joining me today, and I wish you the best of luck in your matchups going forward.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the interview and it was a ton of fun. I
Awesome.
look forward to this upcoming weeks.
Good luck. Bye bye.
Thank you.